From the Massachusetts Broadcasters Station of the Year, this is Western Mass News at 6 p.m.
We have officially reached heat wave status for the first time this year. Welcome to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. Our stretch of hot days to begin the summer continues. For the latest on what we can expect, let's check in with meteorologist Janna Brown. Janna, I love some sunny days, but it has just been so hot lately.
Yeah, the last couple of days, Jordyn, has been extreme. Just in time to start off the summer season. On Saturday, we hit 92. Same for yesterday. And today so far, we have hit 94, which makes it an official heat wave, which is temperatures at 90 degrees or higher for a period of 3 or more days. We have also tied the record for the day of 94 set back in 1941. We'll have to wait till this evening to see if we actually beat it. Sun and clouds right now in Springfield, still holding at 94. Good breeze out of the south-southeast, and dew points have lowered just a little bit, but they are higher elsewhere today. Now, we do have a lot of 80s and still some lower 90s, Northampton, Holyoke, and Great Barrington. And the dew points are varying. We've got higher dew points up around the Route 2 corridor because there have been some showers and storms up that way. Right now, little isolated downpours up around the Adams and North Adams area that are kind of drifting right now. Some much needed rain, but it's so localized, it's not really impacting anybody else at this hour. If you're planning on dining outside, good luck. It's going to be hot. 7 p.m., 89 in Springfield, middle to upper 80s, Northampton and Amherst, still humid with a little bit of a breeze out there to make things feel slightly more comfortable. Tonight, we are back close to 70 degrees, and tomorrow's temperatures get back into the lower and middle 90s, but there is some relief on the way. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Jordyn.
All right, Janna, looking forward to hearing more about that relief. For the first time in months, people in Massachusetts are able to eat in restaurants, try on clothes in fitting rooms, and receive close contact personal services. Today begins step 2 of phase 2 in the state's coronavirus reopening plan. Now we're answering your questions about social distancing and the virus as more people begin to venture outside of their homes. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live in Springfield with the answers. Audrey?
It's been said before, and we'll say it again, just because things are reopening doesn't mean the virus has gone away. We took your questions to a microbiologist, questions about where the coronavirus stands now in this stage of the pandemic.
Go prepared for it to be a different experience than what you were used to.
This week, restaurants are allowed to reopen, not with imposed capacity limits, but with indoor spacing restrictions. People are asked to cover their mouths except for when they're eating at their table, which leads to our first viewer question about wearing a mask for an extended period of time and the fear of breathing in toxins.
When we breathe out a little bit of oxygen and then some carbon dioxide.
Erica Hamilton is a UMass microbiologist who says mask wearing won't make you breathe in something toxic, although it can feel uncomfortable in the summer heat.
The carbon dioxide, if you breathe, it can cause problems sometimes if you have a buildup of it in your body. But if you're just wearing a disposable mask or a regular cloth mask, that should not happen.
Beginning this week, office spaces are now allowed to operate at 50% capacity. One Western Mass News viewer asked if a person needs to be retested for COVID-19 if they still have certain symptoms after 10 days. Hamilton says it depends on the symptom.
With the no taste or smell, it seems to be taking a long time to come back.
She says with this particular symptom, people should monitor the length of time it takes for the senses to come back.
There are people who are not regaining their sense of smell and taste even after having recovered for weeks, if not months. If you fall into that category, make sure that you call your doctor and have a conversation about it.
Nail salons, tattoo parlors, massage therapists, and personal training are also able to resume. Hamilton says of all the infection control practices you should be looking out for while in public, masks are the most critical.
There's a few preliminary studies coming out that are indicating that face masks do really help reduce the spread of the disease because it's catching those aerosolized droplets in your mouth.
Hamilton says more than anything, those masks should be the indicator of a place's safety when you go out in public. She says if you go into a particular establishment and the employees aren't wearing face masks, you should be wary. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thanks for that live report. Our team coverage on the coronavirus continues now with some favorite go-to places like the spas and nail salons. As of today, they are back open for business. Western Mass News reporter Kayla Burton shows us what coronavirus guidelines are in place, keeping customers safe as they make their way back to the salon.
The polish is back on the racks and the chairs are ready for customers to make their way back inside nail salons on Monday.
I'm very excited. It's been quite a long time and customers have been waiting and I've been waiting to see them, so very excited.
After being closed since mid-March due to coronavirus restrictions, owner of High Shine Nail Salon in Holyoke, Toy Tron, says it took a hard toll on her business.
It's good for safety, but then as an owner, I get worried, for the business to continue. Financially, it's very bad. But, we have to keep going and continue and waiting.
Now with the wait finally over, customers can book an appointment online or by the phone, while walk-ins are still a no-go. Despite the restrictions, Tron tells Western Mass News they're very busy.
People already booked the appointment, people call me, so we have a full schedule set up and ready for today and for the entire week too.
After making an appointment, customers will come inside, get their temperature checked, and once approved, head on over to their seat.
For the adult, if it's more than 102, then we can't provide the service.
Another requirement for customers is signing a coronavirus consent form, something Tron says is significant in case they have to notify any customer about a health issue. From plexiglass shields to limiting only 10 customers coming into the salon at a time, Tron says reconstructing the area and following the safety guidelines is the top priority.
6 feet apart, make sure that the customer don't have the temperature when they come in, make sure everyone walk in, sanitize their hands. Even, we in the salon, we have to wear masks and keep masks on at all time. Wipe all the table at all time.
Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Kayla Burton.
A group of veterans, family members, and concerned citizens will hold a standout in Holyoke tomorrow to show support for a new addition to the Holyoke Soldiers Home. The standout is planned for 4 p.m. at the intersection of Beach, Cherry, and Northampton Streets. The group says they support a petition to the Baker administration that calls for immediate approval of funding for the new addition, where the federal government would cover 65% of the cost. Since the beginning of March, 76 veterans at the Soldiers Home have died because of COVID-19. 2 others have since died after recovering from the coronavirus. And here's a look at today's number of COVID-19 cases. So far, the state reports 149 new cases. That's up 24 since yesterday, with a total number of 107,210 in the Bay State. There are 17 more deaths today, and the statewide death toll now stands at 7,874. And for more coverage on the coronavirus pandemic as it develops, you can log on to our free streaming Western Mass News app. As calls for the end of police brutality and defunding the police grows louder across the country, one local city is already taking action by cutting 1% of the police budget. Western Mass News reporter Sarah Granelli joins us live in Northampton with the details. Sarah?
Jordyn, the city council here in Northampton voted to cut the police department by 10%. As demonstrators across the country are calling on leaders to defund the police, the City Council in Northampton voted 6-3 on Thursday to cut the police department's budget by 10% for the 2021 fiscal year.
The councilors wanted to start that change right now, just to say we're getting the change started right now.
That 10% means the department will be cut $669,957 starting July 1st. Chief of Northampton Police Jody Casper says this cut will have a major impact on the department.
So it's going to result in police officers being laid off.
Casper tells Western Mass News the department has 65 positions in the department. 6 of those are vacant. 5 are made up of officers in the academy. She says those officers are protecting the 39,000 people in this city each and every day. The chief is now left at the task of deciding which and how many officers will be without a job in just 9 days.
When you're talking about cutting a department for a city this size, a destination community with a lot of visitors, and we have 5 people on the street and you're cutting the department, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for those officers, and there's a risk that we won't be able to respond to things when we're called.
So we reached out to the mayor's office to see where this money, this 10%, will be going. If it's not going to the police department, we've not heard back yet. Live in Northampton, I'm Sarah Gurnelli, Western Mass News.
Sarah, thanks for that live report. Across Massachusetts, hundreds of people are marching from Roxbury to the State House to honor RAYSHARD Brooks. Brooks was shot in the back on June 12th by an Atlanta officer when he ran from police. Several speakers addressing the crowd today, including Eric Garner's son. Garner died in 2014 after being put in a police chokehold in New York. The officer involved in that case was fired but not charged. A public viewing for Brooks is being held today in Atlanta, and a funeral will be held tomorrow. New at 6, a judge has delivered a report to the Diocese of Springfield documenting his investigation into claims of sexual abuse by late Bishop Christopher Weldon. The report will also address how the diocese handled the complaint, as well as opportunities for improvement in handling future abuse allegations. The full report will be released on Wednesday, and the diocese plans to make the details available to the public. In Connecticut, Enfield police are investigating an accident that killed a 4-year-old child. The accident happened on Brainard Road just before 5 yesterday afternoon. Police tell Western Mass News the boy was riding in the back of a pickup truck when he fell out and got run over. The driver did see the child and immediately stopped and got out. The operator of the pickup truck was identified as Jonathan Riches of Enfield. A traffic alert for you now out of Agawam. Police tell Western Mass News that a portion of Main Street is currently shut down due to a crash involving a motor vehicle and a tractor trailer. They say one person was taken to the hospital with injuries. One lane is currently open to traffic. Police hope to have the scene clear in the next few minutes. State police have been called in to evaluate the tractor trailer. Coming up after the break, the latest on a Southwick brush fire that has expanded to more than 20 acres. And following a weekend of violations, a Connecticut bar is forced to close. What officials say they were doing coming up. Janna?
And we are tracking some wet weather for the mid part of our week, followed by a little bit of relief in this heat and humidity. I'll have the details after the break.